It's time to meet the brains behind Avspecs. This is Warren Denham. We're standing in front of a de Havilland Mosquito, which is, I got to say, pretty exciting to be hanging around. How did you get this machine?
It's a bit of a long story, but to make it shorter, it came in from the US to be restored, although it is an ex-RNZAF Mosquito, which is kind of unusual, I suppose. The New Zealand Air Force were given, or maybe they bought them, I don't know, 80 Mosquitoes after the war, and in about 48 they flew most of them out here, and then operated them for 4 years until the jets came along, and a aerial photography company from California bought this particular aeroplane off the New Zealand government and tanked it up in Palmerston North and flew it back to the US in 1952 with a view to using it for aerial photography in California. But didn't quite work out very well for them, and eventually it ended up abandoned on an airfield in north of LA, and we picked it up in 2014 for our client from Texas and brought it down here to rebuild.
The great thing about the Mosquito, though, not many people might know this, is that primarily they're a wooden aircraft, which was quite something in the war, wasn't it?
Yeah. When the war started, metal aeroplanes like the Spitfire and the Mustang, they were all, you know, the new way of making was out of aluminium. But the de Havilland company could see that metal was going to be in short supply with the war effort, and so they decided to, employ some of their time-honoured, techniques and build it out of wood. They were able to make it by using the little factories and little workshops around Britain that had been making furniture and what have you, that were kind of unemployed at the time, to make parts for the Mosquito because it was made out of wood, and so they had all the skill and a non-strategic product, and worked out very well.
I always think, though, if you were a pilot on one of these, you'd have to be pretty brave sitting in basically a wooden aircraft when the bullets were flying.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's only made out of balsa and plywood, 1/16 of an inch, or 1.5mm plywood with a balsa wood core. So, if shrapnel went off, a piece could come through the side of the aeroplane quite easily, but they did have armour in them eventually, thick plates of steel to keep the bullets away. But yeah, I know. And that big engine roaring away right next to your ear.
Well, how big are those twin Rolls-Royces?
Well, they're 27 litres each. So they're V12, 27-litre V12. These ones produce 1,650 horsepower at sea level. Supercharged, 4 valves per cylinder. Beautiful motor.
How much joy do you get rebuilding something like this, knowing there is so much history and there is such a connection with maybe airmen that are still around?
Without a doubt, that's one of the most rewarding aspects of the job, is that you do get to bring back to life something that means so much to some of these veterans who lost a lot of mates flying these aeroplanes, but it survived themselves and have fantastic stories about what they were like to fly and how good they were. When they finally get an opportunity to reconnect with the aeroplane, it's just magic, really.